What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our draft analysis for the Breejex Battle Royale. This is a league that is going to be absolutely phenomenal. We have a ton of amazing content creators. We have an absolutely insane team that I'm really happy with, even though there were quite a few snipes that really changed the outlook of the team. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with the team. You guys should be excited because we have some really cool Pokemon to give a shot for, and some new ones to the Draft League meta through the DLC. So make sure to smash the like button if you guys are excited for the video. Make sure to comment what Pokemon is going to be your favorite of the ones that we are going to be using on the draft once we get finished with it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're going to be having battles going up every single Saturday. We got battles going up on Mondays for another league. You guys should be seeing the draft analysis for that on Monday as well, so make sure to stick around for that. And honestly, guys, we're in for a really awesome stretch in terms of the draft league meta. I'm really excited for the post DLC. The new moves are absolutely incredible, and I'm really hoping that we can have an amazing season. This league was a points league. We had a budget of 1,200 points, and we had Pokemon to draft from the tiers of 200, 160, and then 140, 120, and then 20 points lower, all the way until you get to 40 points per Pokemon. That was the cheapest tier. I'm really happy with our draft, even though, like I said before, there were quite a few snipes. I'll go over the snipes as they kind of happen, but it's really unfortunate that they happen because it really changed a good bit for the team, and it really makes me, it's going to make me try a lot of different things because our team was going to be a lot stronger, but the fact that we don't have them means I'm going to be able to do a lot more creative building, I think, and I'm kind of excited for it. It's going to be a lot more different Pokemon that I haven't used in the past. Now, let's go ahead and get started. We had the 4th pick in the draft. We were right behind Brendan, Dark Devil 26, and before I do get started, I just want to say all the best, man. I wish him the best because he did have to drop the league right after the draft, and he did get replaced by 6-foot Hacks, but I just want to say that he's a really good guy, Brendan, and he's just going through a lot of personal stuff right now, so I wish him the best. So good luck going forward, man. Anyways, let's jump into it. We had the 4th pick in the draft. I really wanted Melmetal. I'm thinking in a league with 2 Urshifus, I'm probably going to be able to get Melmetal. I think that maybe Dragapult will go before Melmetal. I'm thinking it's going to be number 1 Urshifu Dark, number 2 Urshifu Water, then something like random off the wall, and then I'll be able to get Melmetal number 4. Unfortunately, Urshifu Dark went second. Why? Because goddamn Alolan Executor went first. This is the meme right now. Eggy. Everyone has like an egg avatar in their Discord tag on the server, but I mean, whatever. For us, I'm fine with it. I mean, it means I have a better shot at getting Melmetal, but unfortunately for us, goddamn Brendan took it before we got a chance to, and I really want to use Melmetal. I thought it was going to be a perfect Pokemon for me to give a shot to. It's got really cool stats and abilities, not abilities, but moves, and I could have built a really unique team around it because I hadn't had the chance to build a team around Melmetal on my own. I've used it with Liv in the TBL, but we didn't really do too well with it. I was hoping to do a lot better with it this time around, but unfortunately, Brendan sniped it, so we have to go with our backup, and that is going to be a still really busted Pokemon. Rapid Strike Urshifu. Yeah, we got the Water Urshifu. It's Water and Fighting type, which is a pretty good typing. Shares the typing with Keldeo and Poliwrath. This thing is really good because it gets access to Surging Strikes, which is a multi-turn move, or multi-attack move. 3 hits, guaranteed. It does 25 base damage, but it crits every single attack, which is fantastic because it really allows you to bust through screens, defense boosts, burns, attack drops. It's really strong. It's also a water attack, which is pretty spammable against a lot of things. It gets really good coverage to deal with Pokemon that might have water absorb or like Storm Drain or something like that, whether it's your close combats and Drain Punches, your Thunder Punches, your U-turns. It doesn't get any knockoff, unfortunately. This thing got knockoff or any real good dark move. It would be absolutely amazing. It would be so good, but the fact that it doesn't get that makes the Dark Urshifu a lot stronger. But it is good. It's a 200-point mon. It's got 97 in speed, which is very good to start. Fighting types are really good in this meta, I find, and I'm really hoping that Urshifu can put in a lot of work for us because it is a very scary Pokemon to deal with, and it can really beat a lot of checks. It's got priority in Aqua Jet too, so there's that. Next up, though, I was really looking forward to getting a good Fire type. Why? Because a Fire type will help me handle the Grass types that might want to switch in on Urshifu because I don't always want to run Ice Punch on this thing. I'd rather be able to just run mono water move with Choice Band and just click that a bunch of times because Surging Strikes is absolutely insane and it's only at APP, so if I can really get rid of those grass types that might want to be bothering Urshifu, I can really do work. The Fire Star that I wanted, I said it must have momentum. It's a must, and I'm happy that I got my first choice, and that is going to be Cinderace. Cinderace was Blaze Cinderace. It's a very strong Pokemon still, even without Libero. It gets access to Core Change, which is nice. It gets access to U-Turn, Super Fang, a bunch of support moves, which is very nice. But it gets Pyro Ball as well, so be able to have those animations going, which is absolutely fantastic. I love the animation for Pyro Ball, like pretty much everyone does. It gets High Jump Kick, it gets Gunk Shot, it gets access to a lot of really unique moves. Bulk Up as well for setup, which is very nice. And it gets Sucker Punch as well for priority. So We have a good bit of priority with momentum on both of our first two Pokemon, and it's still a very strong option to help get rid of the grass types and the, I guess, really bulky Pokemon that want to take the hits from Urshifu, outside, of course, the bulky waters. But we do have an answer for those later, because the next pick is going to make this first two Pokemon seem a lot stronger than they actually are together. Like, it's going to bring them together, basically. Instead of having two individuals where you had Urshifu, Water, and then Cinderace, now we're going to have a nice trio where we're going to get Roserade. Roserade is amazing with this pair. Why? Because one, it's a grass type that has a really high special attack set that demolishes the bulky waters that want to take hits from Urshifu and Cinderace, and it's a poison type which wants to demolish the fairies that Urshifu is going to be having a hard time dealing with if it's locked into a fighting type move, for example. So a very strong Pokemon. It also provides me with spikes and toxic spikes, which are absolutely phenomenal for a team that forces as many switches like mine will do. Just having Urshifu alone and Cinderace will be able to really force a lot of weird interactions my opponents might want to go for. So having spikes and toxic spikes is absolutely invaluable, and I'm really happy with this first three. I think it's the best first three in the entire league, honestly. I don't think anyone else has a top three as good as mine. There's still a lot to draft. We have a lot of opportunities to get sniped, and unfortunately, one of the snipes happens now. We had a really, really good pick planned out. I was really hoping to get it. I was going to be grabbing Crocodile here, and Crocodile was going to be fantastic for my team. Knockoff, Stealth Rock, it's a Dark type to help get rid of the bulky Psychic types, which is very good because my team does struggle with those right now, so that is a bit of a problem. But it did get sniped. JB took it. I was really hoping to grab it, and it changes a lot because it gave me access to Taunt as well, which was very good. And I know Cinderace, I'm pretty sure, gets Taunt. I know Urshifu definitely does get Taunt. Just having a Pokemon like Crocodile would have been absolutely fantastic for me, especially because of the speed tier that provides. It provides a speed tier at 92, which is above Roserade's 90 and below the 97 that Urshifu gives, which is not, I mean, the best, but it's still good enough. It's very helpful. But because I did get sniped, I did want a way to destroy electric types. Those are very strong because electric types still demolish my Urshifu. My Cinderace isn't that bulky, and my Roserade, I don't want it to be locked into running a defensive set every single week, so I decided to go with a really good ground type, and that is going to be Mamoswine. My team is offense like crazy. It's just insane how much offense we have right now. Mamoswine is bonkers. It's got, I believe it's like 130 attack or something like that. It's a very hard hitter. Its dual stab is absolutely incredible with Earthquake and Icicle Crash and Freeze Dry and Ice Shard and whatever you want. You name it, it gets it pretty much. It's a very strong Pokemon. I'm very excited to give it a shot again. It gets Knockoff as well for support, gets Stealth Rock, which is very nice. I need some hazards on this team. But other than that, it doesn't do too much. You can't really be so creative with a Mamoswine. Like, if you're either going to run like Sash, Band, Life Orb, Scarf, Endeavor Lead, a cleaning set, whatever it may be. But Mamoswine does its job really well, and I'm happy about that. It's a Pokemon that is very strong, and even though we only have 4 Pokemon, we've already used more than half of our total budget, which is crazy. But we do have some really good Pokemon that are good for their tiers. At 140, Cinderace is great. At 120, Roserade is fantastic. And Mamoswine at 160 is also amazing. It gets me a way to deal with flying types as well, which would have resisted Roserade and Urshifu's stab options, or one of their stab options at least. And it's still very strong, and I'm hoping that we can put in a lot of work with Mamoswine. One thing that I feel like my team really needs, and that is going to be Sticky Web. Why Sticky Web? Well, I mean, Urshifu's only base 97. If I can outspeed the faster threats, then I want to come in and just claim a life against it, because its special defense is pretty bad at base 60. I've got to be able to outspeed those things. So Sticky Web is a great option. And I still need a way to deal with bulky Psychics and bulky Waters as well, because I felt like this Pokemon, Vikavolt, was going to be absolutely phenomenal. And you guys have seen me use Vikavolt in the past. I've used it a lot this generation. I didn't use it once in Sun and Moon. In Sword and Shield, it's putting a lot of work for me. It gets access to Sticky Web, Roost, it gets access to Thunderbolt, Discharge, Bug Buzz, Flash Cannon, Energy Ball. There's a lot of really good options that this Pokemon gets, and the majority of the time, I really like running a defensive set, because I can really mold its HP EVs and its defense EVs really well to the point where I can still actually be modest, which means I'm hitting like a truck, because this Pokemon has 145 in its special attack stat, which is absolutely insane. And with Throat Spray, if I just get with one Bug Buzz, forget about it. There's very few Psychic types that are going to be taking 2 hits from this thing, even while they're getting like 1 Calm Mind up, 2 Calm Minds up. It's just so strong, Vikavolt. So I'm really hoping that we can put in a lot of work with it. It can be offensive or defensive, and fingers crossed it's going to do tons of work for us. Vikavolt is important, mostly for the webs though. It's also a ground immunity, which is very nice because I didn't have that before, and my grass type is not resisting ground. So having an immunity is very nice. Now, I did want another one here. My next pick was going to be Xatu, and it got taken from me like 2 picks before, which is absolutely terrifying. It was so bad because Xatu gave me everything I wanted. It gave me access to a Trick Room on, it gave me Teleport, it gave me Roost, it gave me Defog, it gave me Magic Bounce, and I don't have that anymore. But the most important thing was it gave me a Fighting Resist 4 times, a 4 times Fighting Resist, but it also gave me an immunity to ground again. I don't have that anymore because it got sniped by Magnitude. Damn, Steve, you just have to do it to me. But it's okay. I ended up getting a substitute, which is going to work pretty well and it means I don't have to get a really shitty fairy type. And I'm going to go ahead and grab Gardevoir. Gardevoir does basically the same things that I want Xatu to do. It does a few things worse. Obviously, it doesn't get Defog and Magic Bounce, and obviously it's not immune to ground types. But it is a Wish Passer, it is a Teleport Mon, a Trick Mon, a Trick Room Mon, excuse me, also a Trick Mon. It's a very good offensive Fairy and Psychic type, which is extremely cool, and it's still a good Pokemon. It's got good base speed at base 80, it does speed tie with Mamoswine, but at the end of the day, Gardevoir can do a lot of work, whether it's especially offensive, or it's a very bulky set that's just going to be kind of supportive for the team. And I think it can be a very good support Pokemon because it does get access to a lot of really cool, unique moves. It gets access to all the status moves, Thunder Wave, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic, which is incredible, and I can really mold Gardevoir into doing a lot of different things for me. I'm really excited to give it a shot. I haven't used it in a long time, so Gardevoir is going to be back on the squad, and it should be doing a lot of work, especially paired with our next Pokemon. The reason why I wanted Xatu as my Pokemon instead of Gardevoir is because it handled the weaknesses pretty much perfectly to my next Pokemon, and I really wanted this one because I haven't used it yet, and I really want to give it a shot, and that's going to be Copperajah. Copperajah as our steel type is phenomenal. It's an amazing fairy type switch in. It doesn't have the highest special defense or defense stats at base 69 only, but it does have an insane 122 in its HP stat, which is fantastic. It's got really good moves. Heat Crash, Heavy Slam on the weight base side. It's got access to Iron Head, Play Rough, Rock Slides, and Headbutt, Earthquake. Like there's a lot of different options that this thing does get. I guess Stealth Rock as well. It's got 30 base speed, so it's really good to take advantage of Trick Room, which is what I wanted to do with this Pokemon to begin with. And I feel like it's a very strong Pokemon. Just in general, it's 120 points, and I really want to take it early. I was kind of thinking, like, should I take it with my 5th pick instead of Vikavolt? But I calmed down. My front office was saying, like, hey, no, people usually kind of wait on Copperajah quite a bit, so don't worry about it. I said, you know what? Fine. If I lose it, then I'm losing out on a really good steel type, and thankfully I did not lose it because the next steel types were like Magneton or something like that. It was not that impressive, so I'm happy that I got this thing. It's great. It gives me my second rocker, which is fantastic. And I'm really excited to use Copperajah in a defensive manner and in a Trick Room sweeper manner because it can be very, very deadly to deal with. Now this is where my draft takes another turn because we got sniped again. I'm still in need of a flying type. I'm still in need of a dark type, and Mandibuzz was still available. I'm like, this is perfect. I can get Mandibuzz. It's going to take me a lot of my points. It's going to take, I think, 160 of them, which means I have to get 2 40-point Pokemon for my final 2 picks, which I was fine with because I have 8 amazingly strong Pokemon. There were some Pokemon in that 40-point range that could do a lot of really important things, and one of them would be, it would kind of fix up my speed tiers between Urshifu and Cinderace. That's a really big gap there. It's very important that I fix that because I don't want like Pokemon that are base 100, and I think it's 114 and above, and well, between 114 and 119. I don't want them to run Adamant or Modest against me because they could do that against my Urshifu. I just don't want that happening. So I'd have to get some like maneuvering done. I was gonna grab like Kadabra or something, or because it falls at 105, which is good because it breaks up the speed tiers perfectly between Cinderace and Urshifu. But in the end, because Mandibuzz got sniped, I had to go with its little baby form, Vullaby. Vullaby, if you guys know, Little Cup is absolutely phenomenal. In Little Cup, it gets so many different options. It can be an offensive set with Heat Wave and Nasty Plot and Air Slash and Dark Pulse, or it can be a very bulky set with Defog and Roost and Brave Bird, Knockoff, Taunt. It gets a ton of different options, which is very nice. And the best thing about it is it's a U-turner that's also very, very bulky for me. So I have a lot of momentum on my team, which allows me to get into my hard hitters like Cinderace, like Urshifu, like Mamoswine, like Roserade, like Vikavolt, like Copperajah. Like majority of our team has an attack stat or a special attack stat that's like at 115 plus. Most of them have like 120 plus. So it's very, very good that we have this. I'm hoping that it can put in work. It is our only defogger on the entire team. I didn't manage to pick one up the rest of the way, so it has been maybe a bit of a problem for us, but I do have core change on Cinderace. Only issue is I don't want to be tricking or switching over the spikes or toxic spikes on my opponent's side of the field that I give them, or the webs, and give them to myself. That could be a bit of an issue, so Vullaby may come to a lot more games than I'm initially expecting, but we'll see what we can do. We do have quite a long season. I believe it's 10, 11 weeks, so we'll be able to make some transactions if we see the need to. Now, our next Pokemon is the one's going to break up the speed tier because I think this is super important. It's very important. It's what our team needs. Our team also really needs a way to get rid of bulky psychic types. Yes, I have my Vikavolt. Yes, I have Urshifu, which is going to pressure them a lot. Yes, Cinderace has Pyro Ball, which is going to do a ton of damage. And I have Trick with Gardevoir, and I have Heavy Metal, Heavy Slams with Copperajah, but I need something that's going to be able to be an immediate threat to them right away. And that is going to be Durant. Never did I think I was going to be drafting this Pokemon. I'm not a big fan of it, but it gives me what I need. It gives me a Pokemon between the 119 or 105, excuse me, and the 114 speed tier, 109. It works. It gives me a Pokemon that can handle psychic types very effectively because of First Impression, X's, or whatever it may be. I don't know how often it's going to come, but it's a very threatening Pokemon that my opponents have to deal with. It can really break teams effectively. If I get up a Home Claws, forget about it. It's going to be very difficult for my opponent to beat this Pokemon. That's really all I got to say about Durant because As much as I do think it's a cool design and it's like a cool concept, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. It's just what it does is very important for my team, and we'll see if it sticks around for the rest of the season. Moving on though, was a Pokemon that I felt that was very important. I wanted to get access to a Ghost type to deal with some normal types, because looking at my team, it's Copperajah and it's Durant, and Durant I don't want taking hits. Copperajah I might want to be offensive some weeks. I don't want normal types being a pain to me, so I decided to go with Haunter. Haunter is a very strong Pokemon because it's got ridiculous special attacks. I believe it's 115 special attack, which is nuts for a Pokemon that still has a way to go in terms of evolution. It's got 95 in speed, which is good. It's got a ton of really good coverage options that Gengar does. I believe it does not get Focus Blast. I think it's just like Sludge Wave, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Trick, just Will-O-Wisp, Nasty Plot, shenanigans like that, which can be very scary to deal with. But there are some weeks where Haunter is going to come in and just click buttons and win games for us because it's that good. So I do want to say that I have a lot of faith in Haunter. I don't think it's going to be the MVP by any means, but it's still a very strong Pokemon. And it's another way to get rid of Fairy types with its powerful Stab Poison moves, and it's another way to get rid of Psychic types with its Stab powerful Ghost moves. So that's our team. I'm hoping that we can put in a lot of work this season. We are going to be going for the championship. Obviously, I do want to win the finals. I never want to just be like, I'm going to compete to try and not win. I want to compete to win. I want this season to be a memorable one, and I'm hoping that we can get that done. So if you guys are excited for this, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know which Pokemon you are most excited to see me use. I'm really excited for the Urshifu Water. I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic addition to our team. But at the same time, I'm also very excited to use Copperajah. I think they're both really cool Pokemon, and I can't wait to see what I can do with them. So that's it for now, guys. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.